What up, everybody? I'm your host, JP, and this is my co-host, Josh.
Hey, everyone.
And welcome back to another episode of the FilmBros podcast. What's going on, everybody? We back to go ahead and, we got a few topics to talk about, Josh. Actually, a pretty good amount. We're going to be coming out with a few episodes, actually, because there has been, honestly, from the past week that just happened, there was a slew of things. Because in the beginning of the week, I told you, man, it's kind of dry. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. It was like kind of dry. Wasn't so much coming out. But then Wednesday, boom, a bunch of shit. Thursday, boom, a bunch of shit. Friday, boom, a bunch of shit. Even on Saturday. And usually things don't happen on Saturday. So in this episode, we're probably just going to keep it light. We have more episodes coming out, guys. So if you guys haven't followed, subscribed, did all that good stuff, hey, we got a few episodes coming up with a lot more juicier topics. These topics are juicy, but more episodes to come. With that being said, let's go ahead and jump right in, Josh. We're going to start with one of the juiciest things we talked about because it's just been a whole slew of things, and that is...
Wait, but before we get into the news, let's hear a word from our sponsor.
Today's episode is sponsored by ZippyStream. If you are wondering how we make money to run our podcast, it's all because of this innovative platform. Here at FilmBros Podcast, we absolutely love using ZippyStream. It's the easiest way to convert listeners into an email list, but best of all, they find us sponsorship so we can keep making money doing what we love.
Suppose you're also a podcaster thinking about starting one. ZippyStream will help you find and manage a relationship with brands that are relevant to your audience. If you want to learn more, contact us as soon as possible. Everyone that signs up this month will get to claim £10 as a joining bonus, which is around $12 or something like that.
Just reach out to us by email or social media DMs, and I'll put you in touch with the guys at ZippyStream right away. Now back to the pod. The Wizarding World, man.
Oh, thank God. I thought you were going to say DC again. I was like, what'd they do?
Oh, well, that'll probably come later, but...
Oh, Lord.
So, the Wizarding World, you know that's been very controversial. There's a lot of things going on. We got J.K. Rowling. We talked about it a little bit during the week. I kind of want to bring it up right now just so we can touch up on it. So, J.K. Rowling basically came out saying, why should she give a shit about her legacy if she's going to be dead? All right? That's basically what she said, okay? The full thing... She just is very frank. TMZ, asked her how she feels about, being labeled as transphobic because of the things that she said about, the trans community. I believe it's down here. Oh, yeah. She said that trans women are not actually women and vice versa. Trans men, trans women makes her transphobic, apparently. It got to the point where, okay, so in Hogwarts Legacy, there's a character that's called Serona Ryan. She's trans. You can tell in her voice. It's a dude. Fun fact, okay, before I finish this up.
Oh, man.
So, I was playing the game, and my son, and Jonathan was there. And there was a cutscene with her in it, and it sounded like a man, and so he was just looking at her like, what the fuck is that? And he's like, why does she sound like a boy? And I'm just like, I said, oh, she's a very manly woman. I just left it at that. I didn't want to go through the whole conversation. Yeah, and this is what I mean, okay? This is what I mean, because they put these stuff in outlets, and then it makes kids question and think, and it's like, it's not, to me, it's not a normal thing, because I didn't grow up with this kind of stuff. But going back to Serona Ryan, so they made her voice sound like a man, obviously, like the normal voice, but some people went online and decided to mess with the code and made her sound a little bit more girlish. I'll let you listen.
I shall be looking in on the other shopkeepers and residents shortly. Glad to see you two escaped injury.
Not much more than the fact that they seem to have some sort of uneasy alliance. Friendship between wizards and goblins is rare enough, but between those two, they each want something the other has. I can guarantee it. That said, I fear they're like a two-headed serpent. Both will need...
So, that's just a mod. It wound up being patched with the upcoming update that just happened because a lot of people were, like, using it and it drew a big crowd and kind of got people asking J.K. Rowling about, her whole transphobic comments, and then, that's when she basically let out, like, I don't care. I'm going to say what I want because I'm going to be dead. She already made a legacy for herself. She's got the Harry Potter franchise.
Yeah.
Always going to make money for her. Always going to be something near and dear to someone's heart. But, I don't know. You hear all this. What are you thinking?
Okay. Well, I didn't hear about that. I didn't hear that about the woman or the trans woman in the game. I didn't hear about that.
Wow.
I heard that people were modding in, like, the flag or whatever, the pride flag or whatever.
Oh, okay.
In the game.
Oh, really?
I heard about that.
Oh, I didn't hear about that one.
I didn't hear that they changed the voice. That's crazy. As for J.K. Rowling, I mean, yeah, like, it doesn't. Of course, she's gonna say that now. She's already made her money. She's living fat right now.
Mm-hmm.
She's still creating. She still gets money from all this stuff, whatever. So I mean, she's set. So of course she's gonna be like, well, what the fuck? Why do I care? Like, I've already pretty much made my name in history with the Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah. And, I mean, she could say whatever she wants. I mean, it's not going to take away the money that Harry Potter is raking in, because, I mean, let's be honest. There's people that agree with her, right? There's some people that don't agree with the whole trans thing. People say that it's a mental illness, that it's gender dysphoria or something like that, whatever word that they use. But, there's a lot of people that think just like her. So they're going to still support her. She still has a little pocket of fans that are, or big pocket of fans. I don't even want to say that it's little because, a lot of people love Harry Potter. The people that bought this game, Hogwarts Legacy, there were so many people online saying, oh, you're transphobic if you buy it. Oh, this, oh, that, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But you know how many people bought it? So many people bought it to the point where it's one of the highest launching games for PS5, Xbox, and PC. Pre-launch, before anything happened.
Yeah.
The Harry Potter IP is enormous.
See, and like, that's the thing, because, like, whether you, like, not everything to the fans, like, if you know what you're getting into, then you're gonna be like, okay, who is this? Who wrote this? That. But like, some people are just like neutral. You know what I mean? They're not on either side of the fence. They're just like, I want to play a cool game. Like, what harm does that do to people?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, if you're against the fence, you're gonna be like, why would you buy that? You're transphobic, whatever else. And then if you're on the other side of the fence, you're like, well, if you agree with her, you agree with her. But like, that's to stop that at a game when anyone could just play it. It's kind of dumb, because anyone could just be like, well, I don't really care about any of that politics stuff. I just want to play the wizard game. Like, you know what I mean?
It's true. And
So-
same thing. I mean, like, it's kind of like, I mean, is it so, the thing that I kind of want to know, is it kind of so bad in that community to the point where they throw out every single thing that J.K. Rowling made, even the Harry Potter franchise that they probably watched as a kid, probably loved? You know what I mean? Is it that bad?
I think this is just preference, dude. Like, I don't think it's anything like too harsh. I know people will say what they want to say, but to be like, oh, you neutral party. If you're like, if you support the game, you're transphobic. But like, they're just like, what the fuck, bro? I don't give a fuck about that. I just want to play the game, So they're just trying to enjoy the game, and that's what I mean. I'm still trying to get it and enjoy it too, but that's played out how it is. I don't think labeling people that don't really care about what J.K. Rowling says as like problematic or transphobic or whatever is like necessary. I think it's kind of out of pocket, if I'm being for real.
Okay, so let's peel a layer back. So is what J.K. Rowling says a very bad thing? I mean, in her own way, okay? In her own way. Let's say, maybe she probably worded it wrong. People word things wrong all the time. But is it bad to say, kind of like what she said in that statement, that women, no, well, I mean, it's a valid thing. It's a valid thing because I know that what she said was that trans women are not actually women, vice versa. Are trans women women? No. They were men that turned to women, and it is what it is. But people have their own opinion on this stuff. People agree, people disagree. But peeling that layer back, can you kind of agree with what she's saying?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, I wouldn't know. I just I can't really I don't think I have a stake in it because it's not my thing.
Well, we're one of the people that we don't care. We're gonna give respect where respect is due, right? So if somebody comes up to me and says, "Hey, my pronouns are," and I will obviously respect that person. That's just how it is. That's person respecting people. But to make a bold statement, and I mean, there's a lot of people out there on the internet that talk about this stuff all the time. We can bring up a few names, whatever, blah, blah, blah. There's the people that go harder in the paint about this conversation, and we're just barely scraping the surface. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is that I don't see the reason why people don't see there's nothing wrong with her statement and, choose to just move along and just be like, I want to play the game. Or I want to watch the movies or whatever, is because they either don't care or they agree. That's just basically what it comes down to.
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously. And then, obviously, if you're not going to support, don't support. Because it all comes down to preference. And then, I don't know. It doesn't really bother me, because, I know people tend to be pieces of shit, whatever else. But you're still going to, in some way or another, you're still going to support them, I guess. Think about it. You find out Chick-fil-A is anti-LGBT or whatever because they're a religious group or whatnot, or they donate to religious groups or that shit. You're gonna stop eating Chick-fil-A? Or, I mean, it just depends. Put it in your perspective. If, I don't know, say out of nowhere Dave Filoni or someone that runs Star Wars is turns out to be a piece of shit, you gonna stop watching Star Wars?
How big of a piece of shit are we talking about?
Well,
we talking J.K. Rowling piece of shit, which is, in my opinion, is kind of this way, or are we talking Christy Elia's allegations piece of shit?
Well, I would say J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling? No. Over some words and her saying her opinion on what she thinks. It's not like she went on this big, crazy rant. She just said... I mean, we could probably find the whole article, but she doesn't really go on this crazy rant saying, huh?
So I don't really want to go that deep.
Yeah, no, we're not going that deep, but I'm just saying that, what do you call it, that she basically said what she said, and at the end of it was she doesn't agree with trans people. She thinks that it's that gender dysphoria thing, which everybody is entitled to their opinions, in my opinion. But, like I said, Hogwarts Legacy did so well that it's also becoming a TV show. That HBO has it in the work. David Zaslav is greenlighting a Hogwarts Legacy TV show for HBO Max.
That's interesting.
It's gonna be weird how they incorporate it. Honestly, and I've been playing Hogwarts Legacy. Story's pretty neat, man. Story's pretty neat. I mean, I know that there's different outcomes depending on what house you go to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still working through mine, but so far so good. I have not had any issues with the story. The story's actually been good. The character Serona Ryder, she's had some good dialogue in there. This whole game's actually been really phenomenal. So seeing it come into fruition into a HBO Max series, man, I'm just happy we're gonna get some more wizarding stuff. And I love Harry Potter, I love Hermione and all them, but I want to see stories outside that, something like this where I mean, in the game you're kind of like the star of that story, but I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of in the game that you could talk about poachers, the ones that take away, animals and, trying to save them if they wanted to, or, uncovering certain things, because there's little Easter eggs that lead to the Harry Potter franchise because it's supposed to be set way before that franchise. So it's interesting. It's pretty neat.
That sounds pretty cool. I still have yet to play this game. I said that already, but it does look nice. And the fact that it's actually kind of interesting because, I mean, you can choose which house and stuff, and then, so are they gonna have one character and just them in the house, or I think if they do it right, they could have a character in each of the houses just so they can explore that deeper like choice thing.
Imagine 4 seasons, right? First season, Gryffindor, let's just say, because it's the most popular. Second season, Slytherin. Boom, whatever. And then at the end, after 4 seasons, maybe that 5th season could be a culmination of like all 4 seasons or whatever, and basically have to destroy the one evil at the very end of it. That'd be actually a pretty good structured like storytelling right there. I don't know. Hey, Warner Brothers, hire me.
This does sound pretty interesting. Good that the game sparked this, because it seems like they were dead in the water about ideas.
Honestly, yeah. After the flop that was the last, or actually, I don't even think it was a flop. I think it made like $100 million or something. Didn't it cross $100 million?
Which one?
The last Fantastic Beasts movie.
Oh, I think so.
Yeah, because
it flopped.
I think that one crossed, or I think it was just shy of $100 million, but that one was kind of weak. I mean, and then we didn't really have another Harry Potter story besides that one. So Hogwarts Legacy picking it up, and it being a video game, not only being a spectacular storytelling tool, but also being a fun in its mechanics is crazy.
Okay, so the Fantastic Beasts: Secrets of Dumbledore grossed less than $405 million in US dollars.
Gross $405 million, less than? Damn, that shit flopped hard.
So like I think after that they were just like, well, dead in the water.
Yeah, because I think they said that it was supposed to go up to 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I
never did.
Yeah, I don't think we're getting those.
It got dead in the water, so they're just like, well, what do we do now? And then J.K. Rowling is like, well, I don't know. I gave you something to work with. You kind of just fucked with it, and then so now I think now they're just trying to save their ass with this. So pretty cool stuff.
Yeah,
can't knock them for it.
I mean, at least we're getting something in the works. Maybe Zaslav was like, hey, if that game did numbers, we're about to do numbers on HBO Max.
Because I know. Because you can study and get the Forbidden Curse, right? The Forbidden Curses, all 3 of them. So like, what
in
if
the game?
Yeah. So like, what if they show that? You know what I mean?
Like the kids
like
building up and learning. Yeah, that'd be cool. Fun fact: just got Avada Kedavra last night.
You're gonna start soloing all those bosses.
Dude, I killed a troll, literally, bro. I was just like, I'm gonna try it, and he was just like running at me. He did like this little charge thing that he does in the game, and I just hit him with the and that shit was done deal. Like, that shit actually kills him really quick. It takes forever to reload, but it kills him really quick. It's fun. Very good, very good. Good job, HBO Max. But another mistake was found, just like the coffee cup in the last season of Game of Thrones. I don't know if you remember that.
No.
But in the Game of Thrones, I think it was episode 3 or 4, it aired.
Yeah.
And right there on the table during the show, there was a Starbucks coffee while they were having their little back and forth.
What the hell?
Yeah, and so they wound up CGIing it out or whatever. So in The Last of Us episode 6, there was 2 mistakes found. One was the camera crew that they found cut out. Oh, no, where's the picture? I was going to show you. I have it on my phone. I showed you on my phone. Hold on. One second. So one was the camera crew. They were caught at the tree line of the beginning of the episode, just standing there.
No fucking way.
Yeah, you can zoom out if you need to.
Bro, no way. How do you fuck up?
Yeah, they HBO has a tendency to do that. No, but the good thing is that they go back and they CGI it out. I'm pretty sure
they try to fix it.
Yeah, it won't be there. And then I guess I was looking at this clip. They said that the hand was messed up. I don't know if you can see it, but
put the power, some new clothes. We can put the power, some new clothes. We can put the power, some new clothes. We can put the power, some new clothes.
Oh, it kind of clips.
Some new clothes.
Oh yeah.
We can put the power, some new
from here.
clothes. We can put the power, some new
Oh,
clothes.
got you. Okay, it kind of clips. That's what happens. So that's another editing mistake, I guess, that they messed up. Why you got to CGI a hand though?
For the horse, maybe. Just the horse.
What do you mean for the horse?
Well, like, I don't know.
Unless it's not a real horse. Was it a fake horse?
No, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was a real horse, but like to get it, sometimes animals just don't work or whatever. So maybe to give it the illusion that it was calm, they CGI'd its nose and all that.
Oh, true. But yeah, so having another fiasco. You know, HBO Max always comes through with like the hitters, right? Like you would never expect this kind of hiccups to happen on a TV show, especially, come on, man, like they put it out and you rewatch it. I'm pretty sure people rewatch it to the point where like maybe things slip through. I don't know, but I just find it to be little funny little Easter eggs that people find, especially within HBO Max, because they've been notorious for this.
Yeah, no, that's kind of funny. Actually, the cameraman bit reminds me of the episode. There was an episode of The Flash where you can see the camera guy in the actual frame of the picture. I think I'll show you after we're done. But there's a whole thing where you can blatantly see him, and then interesting, crazy. It's weird that things like this slip through the cracks because you should know better as like a crew and all that.
That's what I would think.
But you know, I guess things happen. But a whole Starbucks cup, bro. Ain't no way.
That shit was funny. I'll probably show you later, but yeah, because that's old news. But yeah, when that happened, it was hilarious. It was like a venti or like a grande or whatever, just chilling right there. But speaking of the Flash too, I had literally seen a clip. I think it was yesterday or the day before. I seen a clip where like in season 6, I don't know what episode it was. He was like doing a charged super punch or something, and he like busted through the door and he like cocks his right arm back, and then when it shows him punching the dude, he hits him with the left arm.
Oh.
And I was like, what the hell?
Bad editing.
Yeah, like I was like, because he literally, I'll show you the video too. I don't know if you've seen it before, but like he literally gets ready to go with his right arm, and then when the close-up happens where he gets punched, he's hitting him with the left. And I'm just like, oh, what? But yeah, little mistakes. I mean, you would expect that from a CW show, but from an HBO show, I'm gonna need you guys to get it just a tad together, just a tad. You know what I mean? Moving on, Euphoria star Angus Cloud, though he's not like a full-on suspect, he's being looked at for a hit and run that happened over the weekend or over the weekend prior. So not this weekend, but the weekend before. Yeah, last weekend. He was reportedly seen driving around with somebody else in an SUV before he rear-ended a Toyota RAV4. The witness says that he sped off, left the scene. He wound up parking nearby before leaving the scene, and then he wound up leaving. That somebody in the Toyota wound up suffering injuries. And like I said, the cops say that he's not an official suspect, but they believe he has some kind of possible involvement, and they wound up having a chat with him. But I mean, you've seen Euphoria, right?
Yeah,
you know who he is.
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, in the show, he plays his bad boy, so he's just carrying that shit out into real life at this point.
That actually makes it. That's actually kind of funny. I don't know. Interesting stuff that like, because you see celebrities like this, and you're just like, damn, they do make mistakes, and they are, protected from the law and all that,
Yeah.
like they can totally get in trouble for this. And I don't know anyone or any recently where, like a famous person has gotten into an accident like this. I know there was a lot way back when, like Britney Spears used to get into a lot of police trouble like that. I guess.
Yeah.
So like, it's interesting to see this sort of thing because it really cements the idea that like they are still vulnerable to the law and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, of course they are, but regardless of anything, money talks, and if you got good lawyers who can wiggle you out anywhere that you can, it does help out a lot. And I mean, if he was involved, maybe he wasn't the one who was driving, and maybe he was just having a fun night out with the boys and then wound up getting into an accident. I mean, it's happened before. Things happen like that all the time. So hopefully he's not the person that injured this person, because we don't need another Ezra Miller running around. No, just kidding. All allegedly. Before we trigger the Flash's meat writer over here.
Shut up. hopefully he's innocent. I mean, he's a pretty. I like his character. So maybe I don't know for personally, but he's my favorite character. So if he goes to jail, I'm gonna be like, damn, he's probably not gonna be on set. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see with this one. Like I said, just a suspect, not necessarily a person of interest. So, like I said, he might have been the one riding around in the passenger seat or whatever. You know what? One thing's for sure. Like, I would never think a celebrity would get in trouble for anything behind the wheel because I assume they always get driven around. Not like an NFL player or anything like that. It's like I don't know. You always see them getting, driven around. So
it would make sense if you're, if you have the money and stuff, and you have your little entourage or whatnot, and then you're out to partying, you're gonna get someone to drive you everywhere. You would think.
That's what I'm saying because
his butler crashes. And then his butler, but like security guard or something like that.
Oh no, sir, we need to go. that shit would kill me. But hopefully he's not a menace running around the streets. But somebody that will be pretty soon, Venom 3 is going to be coming out pretty soon. I guess it's in pre-production. Tom Hardy wound up confirming. So we're getting the threequel. Okay, we're about to get that one's going to be coming into full fruition. So we're basically going to see what happens after the events of No Way Home, because the last time we seen him was in No Way Home for that brief 30 seconds.
Pretty much, yeah.
A lot of people were speculating where they were going to go next. Is he going to fight another symbiote? What symbiote he might be fighting? There is some rumors going around saying that Andrew has sealed the deal and may be the Spider-Man within this world, but there's no guarantees. Apparently, there's some rumors going around saying that some, behind the scenes shit's happening. Maybe something already has been put into fruition. Who knows? All we know is that speculation wound up coming out around the same time that Tom Hardy wound up saying that it's in pre-production and they're going to be getting the ball rolling. So
interesting. Yeah, no, because he's the only Spider-Man that I could see tangling with this Venom.
You can't see Tom Holland, bro, fighting this Venom?
No.
No, hell no.
No. I don't know what it is. Like, I know, like, I think we've talked about this before, but it's a tone thing. Like, okay, yes. Tonally, Venom can be very, like, funny and stuff like that, and I'm sure he would mesh well with Tom Holland's Spider-Man in that sense, but he's still a threat, and he's still meant to be taken seriously. So, I don't know. I don't think Tom Holland's Spider-Man would cut it. So, Taz's Spider-Man feels perfect. Hopefully it's all true, and then if he comes back and fights him, amazing. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I can't see Tom Holland's Spider-Man going up against him. But then again, I can't see any Spider-Man going up against him in San Francisco either. If that makes sense. Because,
sure, he's still in San Francisco.
Yeah, he's in San Francisco. And I think that's one thing that kind of messes... you know what? Maybe that's one thing, thinking about it now, and man, you guys are getting an epiphany in real time. That's why I'm thinking maybe these Venom movies haven't really hit 100%, because it's not New York. They're in San Francisco. I totally forgot about that. It doesn't really feel like Venom is anywhere near Spider-Man or any kind of threat to anybody besides the symbiotes, because of the fact that he's, in my opinion, in San Francisco. I don't know. I kind of feel like that's, thinking about it now, that's probably a reason, because even in Venom, when Venom showed up in No Way Home, I was like, I can kind of believe it, because he's supposed to be in the MCU, so it kind of, tonally, they kind of fixed it in that movie, if you notice, and towards the end. Obviously, we didn't see the actual Venom symbiote, so we can't really give that full assessment, but seeing him a little bit in the MCU, he could have meshed kind of good there. And then, obviously we see the Venom symbiote split and stay inside the MCU. We'll see what happens with that later on, if it even leads up to anything. And then he winds up getting sent back, and I'm just like, well, it was nice while it lasted.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that when they did that, I was like, damn, that is so whack. They should have incorporated him in some way. I know there was CGI, not CGI work, but like behind the scenes work with him being talked about, and then they were just like, no. But I just think that
in my opinion, they should have
been there.
He should have, because they didn't even have the original guy available for Sandman. Why not just have Eddie Brock fill in for him?
Exactly.
That was kind of my thing. Like, if you didn't have the actual actor, why, I know he recorded lines and everything like that, and even in the ending when he saved them and put the syringe, that wasn't really him. That was a unused piece of Spider-Man 3.
Yeah.
So it's like, why would you, I don't know. If they could have had Tom Hardy there, I don't know, maybe they couldn't either, and CGI wise they could have made Sandman happen, but I mean, if they got him for the post credit, you telling me you couldn't film a few scenes with this man?
Yeah. But maybe, who knows, maybe this one he's like, okay, New York is where I gotta go to find this spider guy, so he goes there. I don't know. I don't want him to just keep doing that one off where he fights symbiotes and stuff and then that's it. I want him to do more things. And I know people were talking about Null and stuff, which, if you don't know who Null is, he's quote unquote god of the symbiotes.
I thought that was the first dude in Venom 1.
No, that was I can't remember his name. But no, that wasn't him.
Berserker?
No.
Oh. What was his name?
No, I forget his name.
I forget his name too. But like I said, I just don't want to see another symbiote fight in this one. That shit is annoying. The first part, I actually fucks with Venom 1. I think Venom 1 is pretty good. It's funny. It has all that stuff. The ending fight kind of kills it for me because you don't know who's fighting who. It's kind of annoying. Venom 2, wasted potential in my opinion. So wasted. Kill Carnage. Woody Harrelson, man, he did a phenomenal job as much as he could. He's just wasted potential. So I'm excited for Venom 3. Not so excited after seeing what they did in the post-credit scene of No Way Home. But if they could redeem it, and there's a Spider-Man, and this certain Spider-Man is played by Andrew Garfield, then this movie would have all my attention.
Yeah. So, I mean, it would be dope. It would be nice to see, because they still have to cement Spider-Man here somewhere in this little Sonyverse of theirs, because you can assume Venom is happening in the same universe. Morbius, Kraven, even though we haven't gotten a trailer yet. And then now Vulture's in there.
Yeah.
So their Sinister Six is coming together. Not how they wanted, but, I mean, you got 4 people now, so.
In the Venomverse, though?
Oh, yeah.
Vulture, you said?
Yeah.
Where?
What do you mean? At the end of Morbius? Wouldn't he technically be in the Sonyverse?
Oh, you're talking about the movie that nobody watched. How was I supposed to know that? Nobody watched that movie. But yeah, I forgot about that. So he has Venom, he has Vulture. That's it.
Morbius. Kraven. Assuming Kraven is part of the universe.
Oh, okay.
That's 4 people.
That's true.
4 out of 6.
Yeah, Sony has been really yearning for the Sinister Six movie. To the point where they and you know what? I like No Way Home. I'm not bashing the movie. I enjoyed the movie. But a half-ass Sinister Six in No Way Home is kind of like, it looked like they settled. You know what I mean? It kind of seemed like they just were like, well, if this is as close as we're going to get there. So hopefully we got to get something good. Like I said, Craven's going through some changes as well. So who knows how that's going to work out. A lot of Vulture himself was kind of looked at as stupid because of the ending of Morbius, him showing up and not making any sense and whatnot. That shit's super funny. I still remember that fucking cutscene where he's like, we should team up. We could do some real damage or something. And he was just like, intriguing. And I'm just like, weren't you just trying to save people a second ago? I was like, I don't know. Nobody watched that movie. Anyways, Venom 3 in pre-production. Tom Hardy's excited about it. I'm excited about it. If the rumors that are circulating are true,
we might be getting Andrew back.
Yeah, hopefully. We'll see. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Next up, Shazam's going to be coming out pretty soon. This is a little DC thing that we're going to be touching up on today. He's supposed to be coming through, and not this week. This Friday is going to be Creed 3. So next week he's going to be coming. Some reviews are coming out already, or there's people that already went to go see a screening of it, and I guess the embargo doesn't lift till maybe next week, Wednesday, I think. But insiders are indicating that Shazam 2 might make 45 to 50 million on opening weekend. 50 million plus. Now, I wouldn't say that that's a bad thing, because maybe they're talking 50 million here domestically, but we got other outlets out there in China and stuff like that, so it might be about 50 million out there, globally, and maybe by the end of the first weekend we might come around to like 100 mil. But I see this movie doing like about 70, give or take 70, 60, 65, 70. I think Black Adam opened up domestically with about 60 or 70 as well. So I'm going to say this one's going to open up with about 60 to 70 mil.
Yeah, maybe. Probably.
I think we'll get a maybe just a tad bit over 100, but I don't see this run going over, by the end of the theater run, I don't see it making over 450 mil.
Yeah, probably not. March is still stacked with hella people, and I expect Creed to blow this out of the water and Scream to blow this one out the water.
Scream. Yeah, it's not in a good spot with all the rumors that are going around with the reshoots that were happening. Obviously, James Gunn's new DCU that's happening. Zachary Levi being in the news for his anti-vax stuff. This movie literally being what's it called? Pushed back like 4 times just so it could land in March, where it's stacked up against heavy hitters. Like I said, we got John Wick, Creed 3, Scream.
Mm-hmm.
At the very tail end, if you're excited for Dungeons and Dragons is coming out.
Yeah.
Like, this movie is going to have to fight, and I just don't think it has the steam to fight. I don't think it has the steam to compete, especially knowing that this is probably going nowhere. People might want to go watch Creed 3, Scream, like I said, Dungeons and Dragons, that might be going somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Who knows? That might actually be going somewhere, but we know Shazam 2 is not.
Yeah, and it's kind of whack, because I like the first one, so interesting that this one might just be a flop. Which is fine. I mean, I don't know. I might still go see it. Depends on how our schedule looks, because I know we still have to see a bunch of them.
It's stacked. That month is stacked. I think that's when I was thinking about it. I think we're gonna have to invest in that Regal
pass.
Yeah, dude. Because if we pay I think it was like $18 a month or something. This is free advertisement. All right, Regal, free advertisement. If it's like $18 a month, 2 movies fucking make that shit up in a quickness, and then we could just go back to back to back. I mean, we'll probably spend a lot on concessions, but that's about it. You know,
yeah, pretty much. But like,
I'm getting a bucket, bro.
Like,
I'm getting a bucket from all those movies.
Like, because to have Creed and then Shazam and then Scream, that's what they made the pass for. So like, interesting that might become a thing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's gonna do too hot. Not against the movies that are already coming out pretty much. Like, I know this Scream one isn't exactly a sequel, but I mean, it's part of a bigger franchise, and that one's already been out for so much longer. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
People are waiting for the next big thing with that, and then Dungeons and Dragons. If you're excited for that,
John Wick.
John Wick 4.
John Wick 4 is gonna take all the attention. I'm telling you, if Creed 3 is gonna rule this whole weekend up until the next weekend, I don't even think Shazam's gonna take first place in the whole month of March. I think it's probably gonna hit like second place, peak at second, and then drop down gradually.
No,
You don't think so?
I think Creed immediately right out the gate. It's gonna rule till Scream comes out, pretty much.
So after Shazam, oh no, before Shazam. So it'll go Creed, Scream, Shazam, John Wick, Dungeons and Dragons.
I think it'll end up fourth. I think John Wick will blow it out the water too.
That's what I'm telling you. I'm thinking. That's
It'll
what I'm
end
saying.
up in fourth place.
I think Creed 3 is gonna rule both weekends. I think Scream's gonna come in and take Creed off the top. I think Shazam is gonna be right underneath Scream, and I think John Wick is gonna blow everybody out.
Yeah.
By the end of that, so we'll see what happens. It's gonna be interesting. Shazam is just. It sucks. It sucks because it seems like it just looks like the DCU is dying. It's slow death. Like, and it's not even funny. Like, when like people say, oh, dead bodies shit themselves when they're dead. He's shitting himself while he's dying, bro. Like, it's not even funny. It's pretty sad. It sucks to see the DCU go out like this, especially because I love these characters in the beginning, and I liked the first Shazam too. I honestly didn't hate it. It wasn't the strongest in my opinion, but I still had a fun time with that one. I loved it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't understand, bro. With everything that this movie has suffered a lot of more traction than The Flash has, which is very interesting to think about.
No, it has not.
Yeah, it has.
No, The Flash is in way more hot water.
I don't think
if
so.
The Flash,
I still think that one will do better than this.
Well, yeah, but that's because, in my opinion, I honestly believe it's gonna do numbers because nobody's seen a Flash movie before. I think that's why there's no Flash movie ever, and then to see, honestly, I think seeing the trailer confused a lot of people because seeing Zod back, seeing Sasha Calle Supergirl, I think it confused a lot of people, and it's gonna make people want to tune in to be like, what are they doing there? Why are they doing this kind of thing? So I think it has that shock factor and the surprise working for it, and the fact that it's the only Flash movie to be ever made into existence ever. I mean, you have the show, first 3 seasons if you want. I've been seeing clips of season 9. It's been kind of funny. But honestly, yeah, I think that's why the Flash is going to do good. But Shazam 2, I mean, what does it really have writing on it? You're going to see Gal Gadot's Wonder Woman again? What, for 10 seconds, like Superman's cameo was? How long do you think until they start showing her in the trailers?
I don't know. I don't even think it's already coming up on the release date. I don't think we're going to get another trailer.
When the movies come out, they usually put little TV spots.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
That's when, after, I think it was like the first week. Wasn't it the first weekend after the movie dropped, Black Adam? Henry Cavill wound up coming out saying that, yes, I put the cape back on or whatever. And they basically, like, announced that he was in the movie to try to boost numbers up.
I don't remember that.
That was, like, right on opening weekend, the Monday after, the Tuesday after. So, I mean, how long do you think that before Wonder Woman comes out saying, welcome back to Themyscira?
I don't know, dude. I don't know. A lot of DC stuff going on, bro.
Yeah, and this ain't even the juicy stuff. Like I said, we got more coming up, and it's already making him depressed. But also, HBO Max hyping up James Gunn's TV plans. Now, I don't know if it sounds like a lot of hype. We got the first chapter, Gods and Monsters, coming up. All right, we got Creature Commandos. It's already in production. I guess casting's gonna be told pretty soon. He says that he's almost done casting for the whole roster of Creature Commandos. But the CEO of basically HBO Max content came out and said, as I talked to James and Peter about it, we're going to develop these things, and hopefully, that word hopefully really got to me. They're all great. If they're not, we'll all have other options and we'll see. But what's most exciting is that they've got a plan. Anything that James is excited about in terms of DC, I'm good with. I just want to make sure for Max that they're the best shows that we can do. I mean, and that could just be me speculating or whatever, because that hopefully really is a big word for me right now, especially with DC being all shaky and everything, and saying hopefully it'll be good. I mean, I'm sure they're gonna see his plans as they come into fruition and blah 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 blah. And obviously, maybe they only got a little taste of what's gonna happen, but I mean, Creature Commandos being almost done, and that's gonna be an HBO Max TV series. I mean, you should have seen it by now, right? And if you've seen it by now, you should kind of have at least be a little bit more optimistic and replace that hopefully and say it's really going to be something or whatever, blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? But like to say hopefully, I'm just like, are you skeptical too, ma'am?
Well, yeah, I'm sure, because you can't back it 100%, you know what I mean? Because everyone will be like, well, you signed off on this, bitch, so you should really, like...
Oh, regardless, they signed off. Regardless. I mean, if it's not signed off, then it's not being made.
No, but I mean, like to sign on it behind the scenes and then to be like, oh, no, yeah, this is the best shit. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And that will fuck up your reputation because you backed it hella in the media. The media will eat your ass alive for that. So I think him saying hopefully is just like, well, we'll see how it goes. So, and Creature Commandos, dude, yeah, interesting choice of words though. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I really hope Creature Commandos turns out good, and I hope it isn't a James Gunn fest. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Damn, you sound like the CEO person. I mean, obviously we're hoping, but in my opinion, in a CEO, as a CEO, you gotta kind of stand firm with your creators and be like, no, it's gonna be good. And I think signing off is one of those, to me at least. Obviously, like I said, they're gonna sign off. It shows that they signed off regardless if they say it or come out and say it or they don't, because obviously it's being created by them. But if they say like it's gonna be really good, or oh, it's gonna be something like I said, or something else, something, because like I said, fans are supposed to be hopeful. We are supposed to be the ones that are hoping that it's gonna be good. But CEOs are the ones that are supposed to reassure you that it's gonna be fucking good.
Well,
bro.
they can only hope that it's good and received well, especially if he's only got a tad seen a bit.
No, okay, you're not okay, I'm gonna explain it a little bit better. Okay. So, let's say you tell me you want a PS5 for Christmas, right? Mm-hmm. Now that's you hoping that I get you a PS5. Now, if I were to tell you, well, PS5s are in stock, it's looking really good, you're going to be like, oh, there's some chance that I'm going to get a PS5. But if I say, well, hopefully we can get you a PS5, doesn't that sound like, oh, it doesn't sound like I'm getting a PS5.
Oh, yeah. I guess, yeah.
Yeah, so that's what kind of like, I mean, like, if you're a CEO, pick better words, like it would make more sense, because it'll make you feel like, as a fan, they're backing this up, they're putting their stance on it and saying, hey, this is going to be something. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Kind of like what Zaslav's doing, saying that Superman Legacy is going to be good, or like how James Gunn's saying, oh, the Flash movie is one of the best superhero movies I've seen. Now, if we go in there and we don't like it, we're going to be like, well, you lied to us, you know what I mean? But if it's really good, it makes you feel like, okay, they weren't fucking lying. You know what I mean? Like, it feels better, if that makes sense.
Yeah, okay. I think I get what you mean.
Yeah. Okay. I'm good with analogies.
I don't know, because we don't know what he's cooking. For all we know, he could be burning on the kitchen. So we just gonna have to wait and see. And hopefully the CEO is right in what he's saying.
Yeah, I hope so. It'd be good. I'm so hopeful. But we'll see what happens. Moving on to the other side of the alley. So Marvel VFX artists are basically throwing Marvel under the bus, saying that CGI suffered due to Black Panther Wakanda Forever, saying that a lot of their resources needed to have been cut short. There were shortcuts that needed to be taken in order to ensure that this movie met its release date. And knowing that Black Panther Wakanda Forever came out before that kind of baffles my brain, because that movie came out before, but yet this one looks shittier than the other one. Now, Black Panther Wakanda Forever, I'm not praising it for a CGI at all, because even that movie looked like a CGI fest, and that shit, like I said, I have strong opinions about Wakanda Forever. It's not the best MCU movie, but I mean, let's be honest, anything from Phase 4 has not been that great CGI wise. I think except for WandaVision, maybe Bucky and Winter Soldier, but everything else kind of falls flat. And this being the kickstart of Phase 5, I mean, all this news is already kind of making Marvel scared, and that's why they're moving things around. I mean, we're hearing Agatha, Coven of Chaos, Echo, Ironheart, that's all being pushed back to 2024. I know that this year, the only thing we're going to be seeing this year is probably Secret Invasion, Loki, and the Marvels, which got pushed back silently to November 10th from its original August release date. So we're seeing Marvel do their thing to kind of counterbalance everything that's happening, but the kickoff to Phase 5 wasn't the best, I would say. And for context, everybody, we went to go see Quantumanium already in all of its glory. We will be giving out a review pretty soon, but I can wholeheartedly tell you CGI was a problem.
Yeah, they need to start being louder with this, because not only if this is the case, imagine how they feel like working on other projects, burnt out and tired and stuff, and making probably next to nothing because they know that their movies need to be made and stuff. So Disney just needs to pay their people properly and get this shit done right. Because I mean, that's like, there's no way that like you're pushing out all of this half-ass things, making your people work hard to make you happy with release dates. You know what I mean? So Kevin or whoever the fuck needs to like really just crack down and be like, okay, look, I know we're pumping shit out. I get that. Hopefully apologize for any of this publicly or privately. Hopefully they do get an apology or something, because while Black Panther Wakanda Forever, it does have its moments where it looks good. It does look wonky sometimes, but this is just like without getting too deep into it. Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania did have a lot of just what the fuck moments with their CGI. So if taking these shortcuts didn't help anything, if anything, they should have just pushed back if they knew it was a problem.
Honestly. And even in the end of She-Hulk, didn't they say too, like, oh, we need to have you in your human form because the VFX artists need to go to the next project, and it had like the little Wakanda Forever music in the background? Like I said, that show came before Black Panther. This movie came after Black Panther, and the CGI people were still saying that we needed to work on Black Panther, and that's why this one got the stiff arm, but this one came out way after. So, you know what I mean? Like, what's... Are they working on 3 movies back to back to back? Are they literally just, like, overlapped to the point where, like, they're just working on 2 things at one time? And if that's the case, like, are you Are we even getting the best quality out of these people? Like I said, even over there at DC, like they're having their own problems, yeah, but they're having their problems with getting their franchise off the ground. You know what I mean? Marvel's been soaring and flying for forever now. And I think all these problems, if I want to pinpoint that exact spot where shit started going weird for Marvel, I gotta say it was Endgame. I think it was Endgame. Because Infinity War that shit was a fucking home run hit. That movie's fucking amazing. Endgame is where it kind of started getting a little weird with the CGI. Like I said, that's where you got the little clipping in there. We started seeing a lot of CGI fumbles after that movie. Obviously, with the beginning of Phase 4, I think Far From Home didn't suffer that much CGI problems because Sony is in charge of floating that bill and their own CGI and stuff like that. But then WandaVision came out and so on and so forth, etc.
I don't think after Endgame. I think because you noticed a good drop in CGI quality when they started pumping out like 3-4 movies a year.
Yeah,
So
I guess. I mean, you could say Iron Man's head in Civil War.
Yeah, like around Civil War time when they were like, yeah, no, we're dropping hella movies now. So around there is when you were like, it wasn't as big as a mistake and as noticeable as it is in Wakanda Forever and Ant-Man and the Wasp, but you can see it that they were lacking.
Well, all of Phase 4, I'd say.
Well, you know what I mean. But like you can see that the quality has dropped, and it's because they're pushing out all this shit.
So you can kind of like thinking about it too. Like you can kind of see it too, because in the beginning when Iron Man first came out, like suits were shiny. That shit looked super real. Even Captain America, all of Phase 1 looked really good. And then Phase 2, I mean, it still looked really good. I didn't really see a lot of CGI issues with Phase 2. Then it hit Phase 3, and that's when things started crumbling a little bit, because you could see like the floating head stuff and blah, 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 blah. And then that's what I'm saying. And then after Endgame, maybe the beginning of Phase 4, if you guys really want to, push it that far back, CGI started getting even worse. Yeah. So I think over time it is deteriorating. I just think because they're stretching themselves too thin to the point where it's like, fuck. But at least in Phase 3, they kept it together. At least there they were like, yeah, you got Iron Man's floaty head in Civil War, but like, what else can you really think about throughout the rest of the Phase 3 that probably wasn't that great?
I think if you think hard enough about it, you can, but I'm not.
I say maybe Iron Man 3 with like the ending with the suits or whatever, but even then that looked a lot cleaner. I think it was with Kildridge that it kind of looked kind of weird, but
yeah, like you just noticed it over time, and it's obviously because of all the things they're pushing out. Like once they hit that four mark, you're like, okay, we can forgive them for the small things because of CGI and stuff. And then even then, in Infinity War, you had the Hulk or Bruce Banner's floating head, and then a few other things here and there. But like, yeah, you can obviously tell it's dropping quality. So Marvel needs to get their shit together, pay these people, stop forcing them to do all this shit, take shortcuts, and then you get better looking movies.
That's all we want. We just want the most for our dollar. And I'll tell you, not the very best. But also on the topic of Quantumanium, director Peyton Reed came out because a big question that was on everybody's mind was, where the fuck was Lewis? Where was he? Where was he? Basically what he said in the interview, Peyton Reed, they said there was no versions of this movie with Lewis. There's a lot of characters in the movie. We obviously have our Lang, Van Dyne, and Pym family, but then we also introduced Kang, MODOK, and all of our freedom fighter characters. So we had to make decisions early on about what stories we could tell and what stories we couldn't tell. I love those characters. They were really, really fun and part of the Lang family, but as we go further and further into development and we wanted to bring the family into the quantum realm pretty early in the movie, it just didn't make sense to include Lewis and company. This reasoning appears to extend to David Dastmalchiou's Kurt, T.I.'s Dave, Judy Green's Maggie, and Bobby Cannavale's Paxton as well, even though they appeared in the previous 2 Ant-Man films. Well, Das Malchian did actually return for Quantumanium, but as a freedom fighter, Veb. So he played a totally different character in that one. But noticeably, Lewis was missing. I mean, we got a little shot of Jimmy Woo in there. Woo. Yeah. No place to fit Lewis in the movie. Sucks. But would have helped the movie out a lot. I mean, in my opinion, if they wanted to put Lewis in the movie, all they had to start the story with is, so Scott told me about this or whatever, right? And just have him narrate throughout the movie, I guess, over. And then at the very end, just be like, and everything was safe. Well, I think. Well, the way that he was, you know what I mean? Like, the way he does it or whatever. But I'm like, they could have fit him in there and made a little funny thing. Now, I understand, yeah. I mean, there's no way they could have put him in within the quantum realm or whatever. But to have him, like, maybe telling the story, that could have been cool. And then just having him at the very end. I mean, I don't know. It seems like, I mean, it could have been a good decision. Or, I mean, they could have had him do a little cameo in there like everybody else was. I don't know why they didn't at least have him, you know. Because, like I said, we watched the movie, so Jimmy Woo was in there in the beginning for a second. You know, we knew T.I. wasn't coming back. All right, we already knew he wasn't coming back because of everything that happened with him after the Wasp thing happened. But, yeah. I mean, do you think they should have had him in there? Or you think it was a good decision not to?
No, they should have had him in there. There's no way. I just, looking at it, without giving away too much, because we are going to review it, there's some shit in there that they could have cut out for sure and then fit him in. I just think, he should have played a role. If he was Scott's quote-unquote best friend, they could have made it work somehow. Have him at, oh, okay, well, can't say that, but, like, have him be there around the family at some point. He was supposed to be his best friend or whatever. So, like, to have him not there at all, or not even in the, he's not in it, so not even in the ending either. So like it's dumb. That shit is ridiculous. Homie just making up excuses to make up excuses. There's no way.
Yeah, because I mean, they could have had a scene where, you know, there was a lot of unnecessary shit. So I mean, to put maybe a scene where like he's looking for him or whatever after they vanish and blah 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 blah. It's like, you know, I mean, maybe you could say that's the quantum realm and they weren't gone for that long, but I'm pretty sure they were gone. Oh, well, maybe. I don't know. Maybe there wasn't any room for him. Maybe there was. I think that they probably could have, and they could have put him in a funny way if they really thought about it. But maybe he had his hands filled with this humongous Avengers levels threat. So they say. So yeah.
So they say.
I mean, sucks that we didn't see Lewis in there, but I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see if he comes out in the next Ant-Man movie. Moving on to another person who's getting on my nerves with these interviews. Liam Neeson says that Star Wars is losing the mystery and magic due to its many spin-offs. Liam Neeson was just interviewed, and they basically asked him that if he wanted his own spin-off, his own, you know, Qui-Gon Jinn spin-off. And he says, no, I'm not, Neeson. No, I'm not. There's so many spin-offs of Star Wars. It's diluting it to me, and it's taking away the mystery and the magic in a weird way.
That doesn't make any sense.
Look, I honestly, and he has that, like, how you say Harrison Ford is how I honestly believe he is. Because he'll be like, no, I'll never do TV. No, I'll never do Star Wars again. I think, you know, they moved on from Qui-Gon. No, I won't. But yet he voiced him in the Clone Wars, okay? He came out in Obi-Wan. He voiced him again in Rebels. He just keeps coming back. But yet he feels like it dilutes and it's the mystery and the magic is gone and he wouldn't want his own spinoff. You know what? Maybe, Neeson, maybe Disney didn't approach you and say, "Hey, do you want a Qui-Gon Jinn spinoff?" And that's why he's talking all his shit. Why? Because Ewan McGregor probably got his own, because everybody basically had his own or whatever, and he played that one character in the beginning of Phantom Menace. And unless you actually watch Star Wars, you wouldn't even know that he comes back in any shape, form, or way unless you watched him again in Obi-Wan. But even then, it was just a Force ghost. And I guess in every single medium, I guess even in the Clone Wars, he's just a Force ghost or like a helping hand or a guide or something. I think we only see him like once in season 6 when, you know, he's when Yoda thinks he's alive or whatever, blah blah blah. But I mean, yeah, no, Neeson to me is like your Harrison Ford.
It's that old head mentality, dude. Cause yeah, he'll come back for a check and all that, but he won't. He doesn't want his own spinoff because he thinks, quote unquote, it's diluting it. That doesn't make much sense.
It's adding to it.
Yeah. It's adding to the universe that he helped build way back when. And I just think that, yeah, he's probably salty that he didn't get approached for it. And then now that people are asking for it, they're just like, well, I don't know. So now he's trying to play hard to get or whatever, waiting for Disney to be like, all right, break out the checkbook then. And then I'm sure eventually he'll get there.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's just, I don't know, man. Neeson to me, I just don't like. I mean, Harrison Ford, I kind of understood when he was doing it because he's always been like that. He's always talked about every single role, in my opinion, like that, even when he was playing the president in Air Force One or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those people, like, he's grateful for doing it, but, like, at the same time, he's like, it could have been done better or something like that. Like, he's very overcritical, in my opinion. I feel like Harrison Ford is overcritical a lot on his on the things that he does, whereas Liam Neeson is, in my opinion, not that kind of way, because I mean, he did 3 Taken movies, man. You did 3 Taken movies. You're not a picky person. You did nonstop. You play the same role over and over at this point. I'm not even bashing Liam Neeson because I actually like some of his movies. I think Nonstop was one of the movies that I liked. But like, I don't know. Don't talk about my Star Wars like that, Neeson. All right,
I like the one he's in with the plane.
That's Nonstop.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. That's a good one. That is a good one.
I like that one. But yeah, no. He sounds kind of salty. So
hopefully you get your TV show that you want, Neeson, and
or your movie, whatever they decide to cook with you.
Honestly, seeing him in Obi-Wan kind of just threw me off because he looks a lot older. And, you know, he died when he was so young, and I'm just like, yeah, no, it didn't really.
They didn't have the budget for him, man. They didn't.
They should have de-aged him.
They didn't have the budget for him.
They should have de-aged him.
They didn't have the budget. They didn't even have the budget to.
They de-aged so many people.
Listen, they didn't de-age Anakin too well either, so they didn't have the budget.
No, but they did smooth out his skin. You could tell. Like, they took away like a lot of his wrinkles.
They tried to take a lot of it.
Yeah, and then they tried to take off his little, because I don't know if you noticed, like, in interviews and stuff, he has, like, a little bit underneath his chin now, so they try to take away that, too. I mean, they did what they could, but like I said, they could have at least just smoothed out his skin or something, or whatever. I don't know. I feel like de-aging is so used nowadays, I don't see why couldn't they. I mean, they did it for Luke Skywalker.
Shut up. No.
I'll just say,
but, like,
he looked good in the second season or the third season.
Yeah, he did.
Or also in Boba Fett too.
Yeah, he did. Well, actually, no. He did kind of look wonky when he entered the Mandalorian the first time.
Oh yeah, in season 2 at the end. But I feel like they did a lot better in the Boba Fett.
Oh man, thinking back to how I cried and how happy I was when I saw that the X-wing.
Oh, in season 2?
Yeah,
I know. It was great. It was great. The music was nice. See, it's not taking away the magic, okay?
Yeah, he's tripping.
Yeah, he's smoking that pipe. Put it down. Moving on. Netflix is greenlighting something that'll probably get canceled on the first week, but we'll see what happens. So Netflix decided to re-up on their deal with I don't know if you've seen that show on Netflix called Dark.
No.
Well, apparently it's a good show. It's a good horror show. I haven't seen it myself, but Something is Killing the Children adaptation is coming into the works with the creators of Dark.
Wait, is it based on a book or something?
Yeah, it's based on a book. It's an adaptation. I don't know if you heard about it. Have you heard about it?
No. What is it?
So the series is about a small town plagued by monsters that eat children, and reveals a mysterious young woman who has the special powers to combat the creatures. When the children of Archer's Peak begin to go missing, everything seems hopeless. Most children never return, but the ones that do have terrible stories, impossible stories of terrifying creatures that live in the shadows. Their only hope of finding and eliminating the threat is the arrival of a mysterious stranger who believes the children and claims to see what they can see. Her name is Erica Slaughter. She kills monsters, and that's basically what it is. So there's about like 4 books, I believe, about it. There's a spin-off called House of Slaughter. So this one's been around for a while. I remember this book entirely, but I do remember reading it back in high school. My one of my teachers was into it, after reading like Edgar Allan Poe and all that stuff. This is one of the ones that wound up coming out as well. But Something is Killing the Children. It's actually a decent read. I like it. It just never, I never thought I would see it come into fruition, but seeing that Netflix is doing it, it's kind of interesting. What, are you kind of interested from the synopsis?
Sounds interesting, yeah, for sure. But I didn't see Dark. I never saw Dark. Maybe I gotta pick it up, but
I haven't seen it either. I heard it's really good though.
Yeah, Netflix has a lot of shows. Why do they pick and choose these things?
Well, that's my thing. Here's my thing: is that I'm excited for this, but at the same time, I'm not.
Who asked for it?
Well,
my thing.
I mean, I didn't ask for it, but it's good that I'm getting it because, like I said, it's a good book. But like, here's my thing: are they greenlighting this? Are we gonna get 1 season and then no more after that? Are we not gonna see these characters move on to the next story? Like, that's just my thing. I don't get invested in these shows anymore, especially when it comes from Netflix, because I don't know if they're just going to cancel it. And if we're going to get canceled on a cliffhanger. Like, we haven't even heard, have we heard that Sandman's getting a 2nd season?
Yeah, it is.
It is? Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's one of them. But, like, other shows, like, you got the Cowboy and Bebop that apparently a lot of people like, but we didn't even get a 2nd season for, right? The one with Drew Barrymore, that one got canceled after the 3rd season, but, left on a cliffhanger. Like, we couldn't even at least get a final season to wrap it up or anything like that. It's just Netflix has that tendency, and that's the only thing that I'm just like kind of pushed away from.
Yeah, they're very harsh nowadays with their whole canceling thing. Why couldn't they chop off the block on like their stupid love movies? You know what I mean? Like they invest in all these dumb things sometimes, and then they get sequels, and then so try and milk that cow a little bit more. But then they won't invest in shows that they know people like, but the whole shit where it's like, oh, a big fan base has to watch it to keep it alive. But like, no, if you know you got a niche following, you should build upon them,
because things get big, and especially with Netflix, dude. Like, the thing is that they have so much content and they put out so much shit. How do you expect everybody to grow a big following behind something if like you put out so many? So like, if you put out 10 projects, maybe two projects out of those 10 are gonna get like a big following. Stranger Things. Yeah. What other? You. That's a big one. Like, but how often do you hear, like, as much content that Netflix puts out, you don't hear a lot of things coming out from every single show. But you hear HBO Max puts out Game of Thrones, boom, up there. You hear that they put out The Last of Us, boom, up there. You know what I mean? Like, it's so quick, it's so fast. But Netflix, you have to build because you know that you don't even know whether or not it's gonna get a 2nd season.
Yeah, I know. They just throwing shit at the wall, seeing if it sticks, and if it sticks, they do it 5 more times. So it's tough. It's tough being a fan for things these days. Because shit gets canceled or shit doesn't come back. Like Netflix, especially with Netflix, because they've been hitting that chopping block heavy with things. Like if you think WB canceling like a few animated shows and stuff, Netflix has decided fuck you and your show.
Netflix is just, I just feel like somebody does a line off their table and just like, that one got to go. That one needs to go. I don't know. But yeah, Something is Killing the Children adaptation coming to Netflix. I'll probably watch that Dark one just to see what kind of chops that these guys have, the creators have. So I'm going to need your login. But with that, we'll just move on to our final two topics, which is going to be two trailers. We got The Pope's Exorcist. Okay, it's going to have Russell Crowe, Daniel Zovato, Alexis Isao, and Francis Nero. The Pope's Exorcist. So it's coming from Sony.
Okay.
Never actually heard of this. Can't see the little marker. Hold on. So let's go ahead and we'll just jump into this trailer and we'll see what it looked like.
Whatever you do, you only do because God allows it. Did he allow that?
Okay, we already started speaking.
Father Gabriele Amort. On the night of June 4th, you performed an exorcism.
That was not an exorcism.
That's probably
The
where all
majority of
blood was, the
cases
CGI
do not
stuff.
require an exorcism.
98% are recommended by him to doctors and psychiatrists.
The other 2%, I call it evil.
We have more questions for you, Father Amort.
You have a problem with me? You talk to my boss, the Pope.
There is a case that needs your attention.
Bring me the priest.
I'm here to help, Julia.
Wrong priest! Take caution. There are secrets buried there.
Is the Vatican sealed?
The Church has fought against this demon before. The Vatican covered it up. We need to find out why. You've been played. You talk the fates. Whatever you do, you only do because God allows it. Did he allow that?
Imagine what could happen if the devil possessed the soul of the Pope's exorcist.
Who will defend you? My faith does not require defense.
Pretty good.
Looks pretty decent. You know what? A lot of exorcism movies don't really hit nowadays. I mean, there's a couple. Obviously, you can't. Obviously, it's kind of hard to put it over the OG Exorcist, but
Man.
I mean that one's still scary to this day. But this one looks pretty good. I mean, I was having a little bit more higher hopes. Maybe a different trailer is gonna put out something a little bit more, but it looks good so far. Not too bad.
That's alright. Yeah. No, nothing too special about it so far, but it looks alright.
The whole neck twisting thing and saying, I mean, you could tell, and that's one thing about trailers, and this one kind of pointed out a lot, that you can tell when, you know, a lot of the scenes are edited to kind of misdirect you, and I kind of feel like a lot of that was misdirect, but it wasn't like a big misdirection, because where he's like, oh, did he allow that? I'm pretty sure that's not the scene where he's snapping that girl's neck. I'm pretty sure that he does something light or whatever, and then, you know, they're just trying to make it dramatic for the trailer. I'm hoping it's something big and dramatic, and that's why they're trying to misdirect it, but like I said, it's just, it looked good, but it wasn't like
Yeah, a lot of scary movie trailers kind of suck at their editing, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But a lot of them do really well. Like the best one I can think about now is the Boogeyman.
Oh yeah, that one did like a lot. That one had you at the edge of your seat for sure.
Yeah.
This one kind of makes you think like, what are we really gonna get?
Yeah, it looks alright though. Not too bad.
Yeah, we'll see what happens with that one. But moving on to if you guys want to see it, it's called The Pope's Exorcist. It's on YouTube. Go check it out if you guys are trying to see the visuals. Now we have this one's called The Machine. All right, and the reason why I kind of drew me toward it is because Mark Hamill's starring in it, Bert Kreischer, Jimmy Tato, etc. We got more people, but let's just jump right into it. The Machine. This is a Red Band trailer. It's on YouTube, guys. So if you guys are trying to watch it, might be explicit. Just letting you guys know.
7 years ago, one incredible story blew up the internet.
When I was 22, I got involved with the Russian mafia. I was a frat boy on a class trip.
This is Igor. He's here for your protection. He is very dangerous. You are not to talk to or hang out with him.
All I want to do is hang out with him.
I did not speak Russian.
Yeah, machine.
All I knew how to say was,
On the machine!
It was literally the best summer of my life.
We robbing this guy?
This is Russia!
23 years after those events, the story continues.
What is wrong with this shirt?
Yo, machine. Not today, brother. Not today. My dad showed up.
You paid money to see my son tell his made-up story about robbing a train in Russia?
For the millionth time, it's a true story. It took about 2 seconds before he started making me mental. Look at it.
He's a monster. Are you the machine?
Ma'am, the party's outside.
23 years ago, you stole the only thing my father ever cared about.
Sorry.
If this is some sort of TikTok prank, I'm about to lose my shit.
It's definitely a prank. Clearly that's a fake gun. Or not.
You're coming with me back to Russia.
Russia?
If you try to run.
He's going down. Dad, why are you talking all fast like you're on speed or something?
Because I'm on speed.
Oh.
More drugs. Bert, take off that shirt and show those SOBs who you really are.
Now, you gotta party with me.
He's the motherfucking machine.
Fine. I'm just gonna shoot him in the leg. Oh my God, I'm going to fucking hell! I killed a man.
Well, technically you killed several men.
Okay.
That actually looks hella. And it was funny. So like, I don't know if you know him, but Bert Kreischer, he has a Kreischer or whatever his last name is a really complicated name, but he has a podcast called Two Bears in One Cave. I've heard him say this story before and do the stand up, so it looks like it's just gonna be a continuation to the joke and just be a run on thing. At first I was kind of like because this is the first time watching the trailer. I was like I don't know if making a movie about a joke is gonna be great, but it's not just that he adds to it and adds a whole story to the ending of that joke. So it looks hilarious. It looks like an original. I'm kind of excited at the end of this one. This one actually looks interesting, especially with Mark Hamill.
Yeah, it does look interesting. I've seen the comedian, and I don't know if I like his comedy, like him doing the whole self-aware thing where he's like, yeah, I'm fat, I'm gonna be shirtless, whatever else, you know. So I don't think I've heard this story before.
Body positivity.
Shut up. I haven't seen him tell this story before, so it does look funny. The movie looks good.
Yeah, the whole coming back to Russia thing that you guys got to watch the Red Band trailer. That ending where he he shoots somebody. Oh my God! And then that joke where people try to jump up and it doesn't land. That's been done before, but that actually made it look funny in the trailer. So I don't know. Kind of excited for this one.
Yeah,
this one kind of added a little bit like I might go for this one.
Yeah. May 26th.
Yeah.
If if you're looking out for that, The Machine.
Yeah, The Machine coming out. Mark Hamill, Bert Kirshner, whatever his name is. But with that, that's basically going to be the end of it. If there's any topics out there that you guys thought we should have talked about, but we didn't because, you know, we overlooked the shit, hey, I'm sorry. But let us know. Any movies that you want us to review. Like I said, Quantumanium review is going to be coming out pretty soon. So look out for that one. Josh, let them know where they can follow, like, subscribe, you know, do all that good stuff. Support us in a big way and, you know, talk to us.
Twitter, TikTok, Instagram at FilmBros Podcast. We post when new episodes are out, and you can give us recommendations on any news, movies you want us to cover. It's all up to y'all. If you want to listen to our episodes while you're out and about, Spotify and Apple Podcasts at FilmBros Podcast. If you want to support us in a big way, Zippy Stream at FilmBros Podcast. You get our full catalog. All it takes is a name and an email. And if you really wanted to, you could privately email us requesting a movie or something. If you want to follow us and subscribe on YouTube, go ahead and do that at FilmBros Podcast. We'll be posting very soon there. Again, all our handles are at FilmBros Podcast. That's Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. I think I said TikTok already, but Spotify, Apple Podcast, YouTube, and Zippy Stream. Go ahead and do all that.
Yeah, and we'll talk to you guys on the next one.
Talk to you guys later.